I mean, great opportunity here to end the season the right way, send our seniors out the right way. Tremendous test, tremendous opportunity. Obviously, Air Force playing some really good ball right now. They've done a great job, obviously, creating their identity, who they know who they are. They've done a nice job really possession, controlling the games and forcing teams to really maximize their offensive possessions as they have controlled the flow of the games. I mean, and a tremendous testament to them to win a football game without a single yard passing. I mean, they find a way, and they have, found a way this year, and coaches done a nice job there getting these guys, riding high. And we got to do a great job, obviously, handling the adversity that we're in right now and continuing to build the character, of our team, of ourselves, of our identity, and ending this thing the right way.
How tough is it to build something, a defensive game plan against what they bring to line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously committed truly to who they are and what they do. So we got to do a great job, obviously, being really, really disciplined this week and making sure that all three phases of the triple, are covered and accounted for. It's really a mindset to approach it, to attack it, to know what it's going to be down in and down out, and really understand the value of what 1 yard will be in this game, so that we can, get them to third and, long, because each yard will truly matter, because they have no problem going for it on fourth down in any of those fourth and short situations because of their confidence in getting, some hard yards inside.
What are some of the unique things the triple option poses versus some of the option concepts you've seen in recent weeks?
Yeah, I mean, this is just obviously a unique beast, right? That is their true identity, that they know the answers and the solutions to, week in and week out, where it's such an outlier to where you only see it one time a year, right? And so it's something that you got to prepare for year round and know that we'll have a good plan in place. And then again, it's the mindset and the approach to have great eyes, to play with great eye discipline, and to truly do your job, as cliche as that is. And we've said it quite a bit. And, the guys were talking about it after the game on Saturday, but this is the true testament of all 11 guys got to be tied together. So when we call X, all 11 guys execute X, and that you have the mental fortitude, you have that competitive maturity to do that play in and play out, because you're going to be tested play in and play out with your eye discipline, with your willingness, with your want to show up and to fight on each and every single play.
Is the stress on the defensive front, or is it filling gaps to get the extra guys at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I mean, it's really on everyone, right? I mean, for everyone to win their one-on-one matchup, and for everyone to read their keys properly, and to make sure that you're playing with great discipline. So it's on everyone to play connected and play tied together, so that the calls that are called can be executed properly.
How much have you faced this offense through your career, and what's been most successful against it?
Yeah, I mean, first time playing an academy team. Back in 2019, played a top 5 FCS team in Kennesaw State. That was a triple option team that, we had success with, won that game. And again, it's having the discipline, it's having the right mindset, and it's having the right approach throughout the course of the week, so that you can, maximize the reps that you get through practice, right? If you're having to reload, you're having to repeat because of mistakes, right, then it's going to slow down the process of learning, the process of having confidence in those calls to execute it throughout the course of the week. So again, it's how much can we uptake of the game plan early on in the week, so that we maximize and we have efficient reps throughout the course of the week, so that we're trained and we're ready and we're prepared to play on Saturday.
Sanders State's had a lot of success the past decade against Air Force. How much do you look back at what they did to achieve that compared to looking more at this season and what the personnel is?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to look at, the past, and obviously match that to, the personnel that we have in the present. But you're always, again, it's such a unique style of play, right? And we got such a great veteran staff with numerous guys who have coordinating experience, right? So we're going to lean on that knowledge, that experience, obviously, with Coach Selm still being here and being able to draw from his expertise of, who Air Force is and their unique version of this style of play, going to lean on that. But then obviously Coach Schmidt, Coach Ulrich, having coordinated against these styles of offense in the past, it'll be a good collection of ideas that will put together a good, solid plan, to stop the run, which is going to be obviously critically important this week.
Coach, they obviously have lost 7 in a row, and then they've been able to turn it around. What have you seen, maybe in the tape, or just overall, to be able to see why they were able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, again, just a commitment to their scheme, commitment to their personnel, commitment to their style of play, right? And then just, again, that resolve and that fight to weather the storm through adversity, right? Like, everyone at any point in our lives is going to go through some form of adversity where things aren't going to be, necessarily, quote unquote, going your way. But there's greatness on the other side of that adversity that you're going to persevere through. And obviously, we're in the eye of that storm right now, but there ain't no quit in this team, and there's not going to be any stop of a fight in this team. And we're going to persevere. We're going to overcome. And again, there's greatness on the other side of adversity. It's the tale as old as time.
I know you don't always like to look at other teams, but the reason for that perseverance is because Air Force is doing something a little bit bigger than football. Is there anything that maybe your young men can gather going against academy teams and them displaying all of the stuff that you just talked about?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a unique individual that's at the academies, right? And what they're willing to sacrifice and the commitment that they're making, it's bigger than ball, right? I mean, but again, with something that we constantly talk about within our building, right? Like, what is everyone's why? Why are you doing this? And a unique tradition that we've started is that, every single time that we go to the Friday hotel and that we travel, it's something we've been doing for, as long as I've been a head coach, and we implemented it here. Like, if it's your first time to the team hotel, we have what's called our dedication helmet. And if it's your first time at the team hotel, you stand up in front of the team, you dedicate your season to something or someone that's near and dear to your heart on an individual level, right? So it's more than just what's the scoreboard, and playing for, a win. That's really, really important, right? But that driving force, that energy source on an individual level, that, what you're working towards and why you're doing what you're doing, what are you dedicating this season to? It's just a good reminder for, all of us that we're playing for something bigger than ourselves. And obviously, the members of our men and women of our service academies are playing for, all of our freedoms and for something so much more, right? And so, yeah, there's something that we can point to with that, something that we're acutely aware of, right? But then again, like on an individual level within our building, right, it's something that we have been preaching since day one, that it's got to be more than just, an external driver. There's got to be some internal motivation as well that you're fighting for, that you're persevering through, so that when the tough times hit, you're able to work through that, because that those tough times, aren't going to last, but tough people do, and tough people have something that's, they're playing something bigger for.
Coach, talk about Coop, 5,000 yards, one of only 23 players in NCAA history. He's coming up in his final game.
Yep.
You've been with him a long time. Talk a little bit about your feeling as his college career winds down and what you're thinking about.
Yeah, he's one of the best to ever do it, right? I mean, there's only 23 people in the history of college football that can say that they've hit 5,000 career yards. And again, it's a testament to who he is. I can't thank him enough for what he's done. I'm probably not sitting here in front of you guys if it's not for him and all the other great players that I've been very fortunate to lead and that have bought into our way of doing things. But, he's an exceptional young man that has made a difference, in my life. And I hope that I've made a small difference in his life. And in one brief season, I think our community, our fans, and our team have felt how special that he is because of how he shows up each and every single day and how he's willing to work so hard. And at the end of the day, he knows and understands that when the lights come on, he's one of our best players and he's got to play at his best, and he answers the call each and every single opportunity that he gets to do that.
What are you seeing from the Air Force defense? So much attention goes to the triple option, but year in and year out, their total yardage numbers are always so good. What have they done this year to make it so good?
Yeah, I mean, they do a great job, working the football. I mean, they have forced over the years, over this year, they have forced 11 fumbles. They've recovered 8 of them, right? So, going into it, their offense is going to do a great job running the ball, possessing the ball, right, and limiting the opportunities where they're going to be out on the field. But they've done an exceptional job in the times where they are out on the field, generating those turnovers and getting the ball back to their offense. They're very disciplined. They're gap sound. They love physicality. I mean, they got some guys that really love to hit, and they love playing together. Like that really pops off the tape. When a guy makes a play, he's got 3 or 4 of his teammates rallying around him. They're celebrating together. When they get off the field, they're excited about that, and rightfully so, right? So they're a really tied together unit that plays really well, and they do a lot of different stuff, and they do it well.
I had a follow-up question on Cooper. A little bit of Austin Eckler in him, a little bit of Darren Sproles. Is he a NFL-type specialty guy? Is he a Canadian League running back?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what level it is, right? But I think he's obviously you don't stumble out of bed and have the production that he's had, and it's one of the things that we always look to, and I know that the guys at the next level do as well. Like previous production is the best predictor of future success. So again, when you talk about one of 23 individuals that has done what he's done over the course of his career, I would like to believe that there's going to be some doors. There's going to be some opportunities for Coop to go be Coop at the next level, and he'll find the right fit at the right spot where he'll be able to continue to play some ball at a high level.
What's Air Force's quarterback do that's making him successful?
Makes really good decisions. Right, there's a decision that he has to make darn near on every single play, and he makes really good decisions. Then when the ball's in his hands, he does a nice job of, again, finding all the yards that are there and that are available, whether that's 1 yard, that's 30 yards, but he makes great decisions, and because of that, obviously he's able to keep the offense on schedule and having success as a whole.
Coach, is there anything this week, in addition to the facilities on the field, where you guys are going to be rallying around the 15 guys who this is their last week playing?
Yeah, I mean, we'll do some special things. Again, like I was educated by one of the guys who have been here in the past about a special tradition on Thursday that will continue as we go forward with it. And then again, we'll do some things Friday at the team hotel that are very personal and pretty exclusive to the group to allow those guys to have a moment and to honor and recognize them for all that they've done for the program and, their journeys throughout their collegiate experience, to really soak up, this last week and this last time that we have with them.
One thing that in the past they've done is a team banquet at the end of the year. Is that a tradition that you guys are continuing?
We're not going to do a team banquet this year. We're not, just with the landscape in the area of the way things have gone as we've gone forward, we're not going to do a team banquet.
What part of the landscape do you mean? You have to go recruit? Is that what you mean? Or?
Yeah, all factors to it as we go forward, right? I mean, like there was the banquet last year, and there was a lot of guys who had chose to go other places, so they didn't attend. So you're trying to have something after the season has ended with a team that has already disbanded. So we're not going to do it. Hadn't done it in the past at Kent State, So it's just, again, personal philosophy and the way things have gone. I don't think that it's needed. And so we want to honor and recognize the guys day in and day out. We're appreciative of all the work that they have done, and we'll honor them on the field and, honor them by being there and supporting them in their lives as they continue to go forward as well, but not going to have the banquet.
So then as far as, this team being together, is this the last kind of week that they're all going to all
Yeah, I mean, Saturday when we break it down and we're done in Snapdragon, it'll be the last time that this group is together, right? And it's kind of always been that way. I mean, I remember playing my last game on January 1st, 2008 in the Outback Bowl, and that was the last time that crew was ever together. And it's probably the last time, no matter all the reunions, hey, life starts happening, guys have kids, things start going on, right? Life gets in the way, and even though you have the reunions and you have the opportunities to come back, like, shoot, I've been back to Madison 3 times since I've graduated. Like, life gets rolling, life gets going, so you better cherish the time, not only this week, but again, it's what we've been working to impress upon, and I got to do a better job next year, right? The importance and the value of time. Like, it's just this a commodity that, is so finite. We have no idea when it's going to run out, and we know this week for this team, hey, it's Saturday when we get done, and I want to make sure that there's a very joyous occasion in that locker room in Snapdragon for the last time that we circle up together, and we're going to work diligently each and every single day to make sure that happens.
You say from post-game or from post-season that with the NIL and portal, that's kind of the reason mostly behind not having anything else like a banquet to honor?
It's really more personal preference, guys. Like going all the way back to 2018 when I was the head coach, every single resource is critically important, right? And it's just been a personal choice of mine that we haven't done it.
Sean, how disappointed are you? 3-8, 4 batteries in a row.
Yeah, not thrilled. Not thrilled. Not thrilled. No.
Did you think it'd be this hard?
Yeah, winning's really hard. It doesn't matter where you are, right? Like, you can look around the landscape of college football this past week. Like, did anyone in this room predict what was going to happen between Alabama and Oklahoma? Did anyone think like Florida and Ole Miss was going to happen? Did anyone think that Texas A&M and Auburn was going to happen? Like, winning's hard. So you got to understand, you got to appreciate how special the moments are when you get to win, and you better work at the level that winning requires each and every single day. And clearly I didn't do that well enough this past year, and I can't wait to work at a greater level today and every day going forward to make sure that everyone within the organization knows and understands how valuable winning is and how hard you need to work for it. And then ultimately, right, like, you can work as hard as you want, but then you better produce on a game day. Right, and it's something that makes football so beautifully unique and so beautifully special, and why people are so drawn to it, because every single opportunity matters. Like, every single day counts, but there's only 12 days that truly matter, and so we need to maximize those.
With a team that runs the ball as much as Air Force does, it's set to be a very physical game. Is there anything different you're doing this week to prepare the defense for the physicality versus if this game was a little bit earlier in the season?
Yeah, if I had a full roster, we'd be doing inside run with the pure service team as best as I could, right? But again, like, that's where we're at in this season and different things. You got to be smart, and you got to be able to, prepare properly, right? And rely upon the culmination and the compound effect of all the reps that you've gotten in terms of just base blocking and tackling. So we got to be smart, and we'll make sure that we're getting the necessary looks that we need at the full speed of the game to the best that we can replicate. But again, like, it's what makes preparing for these guys very, very challenging, right? And much of the way that I think preparing for us when we're operating at full tempo makes us challenging. It's hard to replicate that, and it's hard to replicate what they do offensively when it's not who you are and what you do, right? It's very different when you have a group of varsity team members where from day one where they stepped on full campus at the academy, they run the triple, versus where we got our red shirt and scout team guys are looking at a car and say, all right, hey boys, run the triple. Right, like that's again one of the unique challenges to where I know everyone sees like, hey, the ball gets put down on Saturday, and we got to go perform, right? But it's the preparation so we can be trained properly to go prepare and play. That leads to how much fun this opportunity is to get our guys ready to go play this Saturday.
What do you have planned for the team Thanksgiving Day?
We're gonna get a little turkey dinner or turkey lunch after we get done off the field and after we get done with our lift. I mean, in the morning it'll be a normal work day, and then we'll have a little family dinner and enjoy the holidays together and be thankful for the time that we get to share.
Is there any place in particular here that you're going to do it?
Carlos is going to help us out upside, and then we're going to get a chance to set up shop in here.
Coach, is there, what is the exit meetings and the schedule for that, and, at the next couple of weeks now?
Yeah, we'll dive into all that next week. Obviously, the dead period, so I'll sit down with everyone and have those conversations as we get rolling and going. We'll have our high school signing day, which has been moved up for the first time this first Wednesday on December 4th, right? And then on the 9th, the portal will open, and away we'll go.
Does Parker threaten your scout team QB and his athleticism? Does that help a little bit?
It's going to help. Parker has served a role behind the scenes in a lot of different ways, and whatever hat we need him to wear, I know he'll do that to the best of his ability for sure.
Hey, Sean, last week I asked you a question about the NIL and transfer. You gave a pretty lucid statement about what you'd like to see if, quote, you were king.
Sure.
Have you talked to other coaches? Would you go to the Coaches Association and say, this is a problem for everybody who's in our group? Can we present a proposal to the NCAA to do this? Have you done it? Will you do it?
There's a ton of conversations that happen amongst the head coaches, and I think everyone pretty much agrees that, this isn't an ideal situation. So, again, there's a lot of smart people that are working on it. We'll have our coaches convention here coming up in January. And, again, there'll be some clarity that comes with the House settlement that will get some stakes in the ground so that we'll know what revenue sharing will look like here in the near future, and then we'll be able to build out what everything else looks like, right? I mean, so, again, we're continuing to work through it. Get to be a small voice in that room, and I'll voice my opinion, and away we'll go with it.
You would need to be the point man on that idea? Can't you be the point man?
I'm going to give as much input as I possibly can, and if people want to listen, great.
Coach, without the opportunity of a bowl and some of the extra practices that come with that, would this game at all could be used to bring in some of the reserves and allow them maybe to get a little more time to work on this year?
Looking to do what needs to be done so we can win this football game. Like we talk about those 15 seniors that are going out the right way, like we're going to put the best guys in the best positions that can help us win this football game and make sure that those seniors are going out the right way.
So there's no other considerations, there's been, with the transfer portal, guys without film have a hard time finding a new landing spot. Those aren't any part of the considerations for who plays.
My number one job and what I get compensated to do is to bring wins to the Mason. I got to do that at a better level. So top of mind for me is being loyal to winning, like I've told you guys before, and making sure that I'm putting the guys in the right spots to get us a win this week against Air Force.
Any seniors, you're honoring them Saturday, but are there any that you can see returning because they have a medical red shirt or something?
Yeah, there's a couple that we'll look through, and we'll continue to work through that, and that'll be part of the conversations the following week of where their head and hearts are at as we go forward with it all and have those conversations. I mean, the guys that are probably top of mind for you, Kurt.
Your personal message to the team, obviously you've coached at this level for multiple teams. What is your message to these players as this week approaches?
Yeah, to value the time that we have, right? Again, like time is so fleeting. To value the time that we have, each guy to a guy has said that they're going to, do something at a certain level this year. Sometimes we have, sometimes we haven't, coaches included, right? And so, hey, man, be who you say that you're going to be. Do it to the best of your ability. And we get an opportunity to go compete, and let's go compete, at the highest level possible.
What are you going to remember most about this senior class?
Again, their resiliency, the way that they worked, their continuity, and the guys who were here, how they welcomed the new guys in, how the new guys that were at other places quickly became a member of this Aztec family.
Is there any update on Keenan Christian and just red shirt?
Working through it all. Nothing of note.
You got an update on the field at Snapdragon?
Haven't heard a whole lot of complaints from that game that was played this past weekend, right? So excited to get back over there and go play.
Anything else for Coach?
Will you have a chance to talk to you next Monday?
No, there's nothing right now. I got to be, with all the interviews and everything with the team, again, they're going to be the priority next week.